Carl Nolan, Coventry manager after the 3-2 defeat to Newport Pagnell. Carl, we weren't to come away with a share of the spoils today, but a spirited performance.
Yeah, well, it was. I mean, particularly second half, it was a lot better than the first half. I thought we've had a real good go there second half. I think we've pretty much been the better side for 30-35 minutes of that. They had a spell for 10 when they stretched just a bit, but outside of that, we've stretched them consistently. So we're disappointed not to get something out of the game. But first half, again, we've just haven't managed the game well enough at key moments, switched off too easily for the goals. But listen, I thought we deserved something out of the game. 3-2, 2 penalties, which the referees unfortunately missed. It looks like it's one of them. So yeah, disappointing.
A good spell of pressure early on for Coventry United. Joe Blow's taking advantage of some lackadaisical defending, shall we call it, from Newport Pagnell. Was that what you wanted to see? Some pressure on the back line from the start?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We wanted to be a little bit cautious first half. You know, we noticed too many. There was a couple of players out there playing injured. We needed them to play, so we had to look after a few bodies in there. Hence, we went with a 3-5-2. You know, so we actually wanted to be a little bit cautious first half, maybe catch them on a few breaks, and then we had a planned second half to open the game up a little bit more. It's just obviously disappointing that we come in, you know, 3 goals down at half time, so it doesn't go according to plan as we would have liked.
Well, after the goal, it was a difficult period for Coventry United. Lost the momentum. It swung to Newport's favour, and credit to them, they took full advantage. What do you think caused that little lull of concentration, perhaps?
Well, you're probably asking the wrong person, because I've been scratching my head all season. We shoot ourselves in the foot far too often. You know, we've done that in the first half again today. Look, is it game management? Is it an overlap with lack of concentration? Is it inexperience? Is it a mixture of them? Look, I don't know, but it's a problem, and it's a problem that we can't have going into next season. Not with the objectives that we've got. So look, the players know they've got 7 more games this season to accumulate some experience, to get more up to scratch with how we want to do things here. So whatever it is, it needs to change, because we can't keep chasing games like this.
Well, Newport's period of dominance ended at the break. Start of the second half, United looked like they were out, you know, to do some damage, to mean business. What were your thoughts of the first half? What did you tell the lads to try and perk them up for the second half?
Yeah, well, we had to get amongst them a little bit more. Look, they're a big physical side. They're well organised. They're a very decent unit, and we just found we were a little bit standoffish. We weren't embracing 50-50s enough. And we weren't doing the simple stuff. I mean, it wasn't a game in there. It was very congested in midfield areas. The need was actually to go and find areas a little bit. It's not particularly how we want to play week to week, but you have to meet each game on its own merits. So we had to be a bit cuter. Funnily enough, the game opened out how we wanted it to have opened out second half. And as I say, you know, aside from scoring that 3rd goal, we've done okay there second half.
It was a stellar performance from Joe Blowers today. Obviously got a bit lucky with the first one. Second one, there was nothing lucky about that. A great finish.
No, absolutely. He's been getting in some really good positions for a while now. We give him that role to attack from deep, with and without the ball. So, you know, he's carried out the game plan very well there today. And I thought he was a threat to them most of the game. So, yeah, very, very pleased with that.
But perhaps United were looking not to come away with a share of the points, and particularly there's a couple of incidents concerning penalties. There was a handball incident in the first half. There was a trip in the second half, and also the momentum towards the end was taken away with Callum Swain being sent off.
Yeah, and that's what we're disappointed about. And I mean, I'm actually going to speak to the referee shortly, very cordially, and ask him why the 2 penalties haven't been given. Because, you know, when you scoop the ball in your hand and push it away, as far as I've been involved in football, that's a penalty. And when you trip someone up in the box, that's a penalty. And then the sending off for Callum on the touchline there, the tackle looked no different to the challenge that they did 2 minutes earlier, and their player gets booked. So, you know, just a few questions I want to pose there, and I respect the referee's decision. Look, don't get me wrong, I may be wrong, but in my book, tripping and scooping the ball with your hand are penalties.
It's obviously disappointing not to come away with at least a point. Maybe it was something that we deserved, but it does show how far the young lads have come. We were saying on the way here, you wanted to see a performance against a big team. We've seen games against Spinks and Rugby where maybe we haven't quite stepped up to the plate where we could, but it wasn't the it wasn't the same today, was it? It was a much better performance.
Yeah, particularly second half. But look, if we are going to reach our goals and objectives, you know, we can't just be very good in a half. You know, you mentioned the Sprinxton rugby game. We were okay in bits of those games, but we were beaten comprehensively, make no mistake about it. We would let ourselves down there the first half. Yes, we were significantly better the side second half, but it's not enough. Not at this level of football. If you want to be a top side, it's got to be consistently over two halves, and we're not there yet. We're quite a way away. So the players, look, collectively and individually, they have to take responsibility and make sure that next season we come to these kind of places with a two-half performance.
And finally, next week it's on to Desborough, mid-table team. Hopefully have some of the injured lads back. What are you expecting from that game?
Well, I hope that we can carry on from that second half performance in terms of the energy, the intensity, the bite, the aggression. So I'm hoping to see that momentum carry on next week. We'll have two good sessions this week. As I said to the players in there, we don't want this season to fall away now. Yes, we've reached our objective, which was to stay up, but why not try and finish in the top half now and give ourselves a nice foundation, a platform for next season for the second phase of this plan.
Well, Carl, so close yet so far today, but a good performance. Thanks for your time.